What makes one overlanding trip better than another? What turns a camping trip into an adventure? The views, the activities, our companions. This time we're hitting the rugged beauty of the Colorado River. We've circumnavigated the Salton Sea fed by this river. We've driven next to canals of its water cutting through the desert. But we've never actually camped on its banks, and we've been wanting to understand this waterway more. Joining us on this trip are my two boys, Brody and Bryson, my friends Gregg and Cliff, Cliff's son Rhodes, and their Bernese mountain dog, Lulu. And let me introduce you to the newest member of our family, Scout, our fearless 7-month-old poodle pointer. We have made it to the Colorado River. Gregg has scoped out a spot. He said there's nobody back here. I mean, the road is pretty rough. It's a little bit rougher than I expected. We've got Castle Rock overlooking everything that we're doing here. Gives you a good point of reference, kind of know northeast, south, and west. But it's a neat little feature of this area. We've got this whole river all to ourselves. It's gonna be pretty cool. Big Scout. This is one of several lakes that kind of just make their way off the side of the Colorado River. These lakes formed after the Imperial Dam was built in 1938 to divert the waters of the Colorado River into the surrounding farmlands by way of the All-American Canal System. We've stumbled onto these canals and been amazed at the sight of clear water cutting through the desert. Martinez Lake across the way is pretty built up, and they have fishing tournaments and just a lot of action over there. While forming these lakes and canals, the Imperial Dam combined with the Hoover Dam reduced the river's flow into Mexico from 5.3 trillion gallons a year to merely a trickle. On the Mexican side, water from the Rio Grande was being diverted from Texas farmlands, and after a few years of water wars, the two countries agreed on the 1944 U.S.-Mexico Water Treaty to try and balance the water needs of the regions. We went back and forth between this spot and the spot over there. And we decided we're coming back to this spot. So here comes Gregg to pull in. He's got the trailer. You got to make way for the trailer first. So where he parks, we're going to come and set up around him. As soon as we set up camp, the boys were off, exploring the wild landscape, with Scout and Lulu close behind. They're so far away, just exploring. This is such a great place for kids.
This is amazing.
No cactus, no burrs, no bugs. Scout, new to our overlanding trips, brought a fresh energy. She would chase ducks, swim in the river, and revel in the freedom of the open space. Watching her excitement playing with the boys was a reminder of why we do these trips. Well, you can see we still have some sunlight. Camp is set up. The boys are running around. I jumped on the Suron for a minute just to kind of check out the area. There's ducks here. The dogs are chasing them. This is a nice start. So this is Colorado River, some sort of ferry boat of some type, and they are just cruising along. So if you see the moon up here, right?
Yeah.
If you drop down towards the horizon, you see there's an object floating in the air. You see that thing?
Yeah.
So that is a mounted camera that always sits there observing the border. There's multiple of them along the border. These aerostatic balloons have been in place on the border since 2013 and have been the primary mechanism for detecting low-flying aircraft crossing the border. While there were 12 of them in 2022, the smugglers have shifted away from small aircraft to using undetectable unmanned drones, and the balloons' numbers have been reduced to 4.
I hear we can get some catfish tonight.
Evening fell on us quickly, so we built a fire and watched Cliff prepare his fishing gear to try and catch some catfish, while we talked about other important things like Pokemon cards and Fortnite.
Can we scoot him this way a little bit?
Yeah. Daddy.
Yeah.
Those are my first. Who would win? A person.
Okay.
A person in Fortnite with Oscar's friends got a shotgun, and they doing really close range, or a squad that has 20. The Oscar friends shotgun guy has full health, but there's a squad with 25 health each and common pistol.
Holy smokes, dude, that thing is long as hell. What are you trying to catch?
We're going for catfish.
All right, man, if you get a catfish, I will fry that thing up.
I think you can pass the time by your foot.
Oh, I'm definitely not a pro.
Walking up a hill behind camp, just so I'm not too noisy for all the people that are still asleep. You can kind of see behind me. This is a beautiful morning. It's not too cold. It's probably about 50 degrees. I did not run a heater last night. Didn't even run an electric blanket. We weren't even in sleeping bags, so it wasn't too bad. You can hear a cacophony of birds over here. And there's a bunch of ducks swimming around in the water. I see rabbits running around as well. It's crazy because you come through here and it is so barren. And you get down to this water and there is life everywhere. I think the plan today is going to be that we're saying we're going to stay in this campsite, which we almost never do, but you can see why we're going to. We'll ride the bikes around. We're going to inflate our kayaks. We're going to do a bunch of fishing and just kind of stay here at camp for a day. So, pretty stoked about that. All right, let's get to this sunrise. Ooh, let's throw the drone on. Camp down there. We're on this little inlet, the lake itself, and the river is that guy right there is the river. And if we had a little bit more elevation, you could see it goes all the way up there. But we're on this little side part. Across the way, you can see some buildings. That's Arizona. It's Martinez Lake. There are so many ducks out here. So there she goes. She jumped in. She has been swimming nonstop all morning. Scout is just absolutely losing her mind. The lack of cactus around here, I mean, there's an occasional prickly pear, but other than that, not much. So great for dogs and kids. I literally was imagining I was going to be teaching Scout about cactus and how to stay out of it. But not today. So I've got her trained to come when I hit this button to the noise. Let's see how she does. You'll hear the noise on her collar. Come on, good girl. She turns on a dime. And so I give her little treats. Good girl. Like most of the lakes that are off the Colorado here, there is a lot of largemouth bass. Largemouth bass. Smallmouth bass, bluegill, catfish. We were actually trying to catch some catfish last night. I've never done nighttime fishing, but it was kind of a fun thing to try out. Due to high levels of mercury from the surrounding farmlands, there has been a warning against eating too many of these fish for years. But in moderation, they're still considered healthy to eat. You can see I've got a coat on. I mean, it's not hot, Although in the sun right now it's getting pretty warm. The temperature changes quite a bit depending on the time of day here. All right, heading back to camp. Who's gonna win? Scout got it? Oh my goodness. Wow. Morning at camp was pretty slow as we prepared to try our hands at fishing from the boats as well as in our waders. Though with the dogs jumping in all around us, our odds were going to be low. Gregg and the Cocopelli. My advice is do not accidentally catch yourself.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I fished out of this thing a couple times now, so should be all right.
Out here trying to catch some fish. So far, no luck. Which means we're using the wrong lure because they're jumping all over the place. They're definitely out here. I don't know that being in the boat helps at all. Probably slows me down if anything, but it's kind of fun. So far, nothing. Extreme situations require extreme solutions. I'll eat a minnow at this point. We haven't got anything. We've been trying. Oh, man. But I guess that's what fishing is like, right? The thrill of the chase and the camaraderie made it all worthwhile. The boys learned patience, and we all enjoyed the peaceful day on the water, but didn't catch a thing. We had brought along our e-bikes and spent the next morning exploring some of the side trails looking for campsites, and also getting to see the lake from a slightly different perspective.
That one.
Yeah. This one's... Alright, so our camp
Now I see it. I see it.
is down there.
Now, see that palm tree over there?
Yep.
Is that the river? What's right next to? And then that's the river, right, Daddy?
So the river...
I know, Daddy. So that's the river, right?
Yeah.
See that blue over there?
Yep,
That's
exactly.
it.
As we left the Colorado River, it was clear as the water around us. It's not just about where you go, it's about the journey, the people you share it with, and the stories you create along the way. This trip wasn't about camping by the river. It was about diving headfirst into the untamed beauty of nature and coming out on the other side with tales worth telling. We found ourselves surrounded by the rugged splendor of the riverbank. We camped where few camped. We fished under the stars and rode our bikes through trails that felt uncharted. Every moment was a reminder of what makes these trips special. As we pack up and head back to reality, we carry with us the laughter, the lessons, and the joy of being out in the wild. Until next time, I hope you keep exploring, pushing your boundaries, and making those memories that turn the simple trips into epic adventures.